I can fully admit that I wasted most years of my life. But let's be honest, procrastination is a trap. You say to yourself, tomorrow, next year, next week, next Monday, after this, after that, but you never start because you live only in this moment. And today I'm going to give you the best strategies you can do to live with procrastination. If you scroll 1 hour per day, in 1 year, you officially waste about 3 weeks. Despite me being a lazy person, a procrastinator, I've been able to travel the world, more than 20 countries. I dated 200 girls before I met my beautiful wife, and I also procrastinated to having kids, but at 30 I have 3. Let me tell you something important, that you live in a world that is designed for poor entertainment. Take this device. This thing now is taking people's lives. Basically, it tells you what to buy, what to watch, what to do with your life. While this is simple technology, it's used as a tool of control. And you need to understand that you live in a world that is designed for enslavement. Just check out the facts. There are less than 3,000 billionaires. There are about 194 governments, and everybody else work for them. Of course, this is generalization, but that's how it is. Most people are born in this world. They put through school system, they told what to believe, how to act, and you are supposed to simply waste your life and serve the system. Because most people, they work from paycheck to paycheck, and not because they are stupid or lazy or procrastinators, but because the system is designed this way, and the knowledge which you receive through the educational system, they are keeping you trapped. And most people stay trapped their whole life. You buying the stuff you cannot afford with credit cards, and when you are in debt, you are more controllable, you are willing to work on a job you hate, and maybe sometimes you work in 2 or 3 jobs. And then the food, I lately talked to ChatGPT, and I asked it, what if if evil would rule the world, how would he design the food industry? And ChatGPT says, well, if evil would rule the world, then junk food would be affordable, it would be fully advertised, and it would be everywhere. And healthy food would be more expensive, more affordable, so more people would eat junk food most of the time. Not because they are stupid or lazy, but because simply it is economically more affordable. And I asked ChatGPT, but isn't it what it is? And he said, exactly. And then he went to explain that the governments all around the world, they are sponsor junk food. And this is because it is more affordable for the government. If the government spend $1 million, for example, of subsidizing the food, like corn and flour, then it could feed more people. And it doesn't matter that the people would become sick, because it's good. Now, when you get sick, you go to a doctor that doesn't deal with the core reason of your health problems, with the core reason of anxiety and health issues. Rather, it simply prescribe you pills, and then you taking pills and taking this junk food, and then it doesn't tell you to exercise, to move, and you thinking like, well, probably there is viruses. Well, have you noticed that not all people get sick, not all people get attacked by viruses, because some people, they eat healthy and nutritious food and they exercise, and this alone can fix like 80% of this disease, or maybe more. Sorry, we've gone off topic. The idea is that the world is created by the rich and for the rich, and most people are trapped in a system that's designed to make them controllable. Exactly. And why do you believe that tomorrow will fix everything? You have only today. Tomorrow you will have today. After tomorrow you will have today. In a year you will have only today, because you live today, you live now. And if you don't create something you want, then it will never happen. Because if you do not start, within 72 hours or within 3 days on a new idea, you probably will never start. And do not delude yourself, because this is simple psychology. If you want to have something, for example, you would like to be a fit person, full of energy, vitality, wake up in the morning like jumping off bed and ready to conquer. And the only way to do this is to fix your sleep, is to start to exercising every day, start to eat clean and nutritious food. And you can only do it now, only today, because tomorrow never happens. But if you keep telling yourself the lie that tomorrow I will start, someday I will start, you won't. Let's be honest. If you want to have something in your life, start now and do it every day. Set up a timer. I will exercise tomorrow at 6 o'clock. If you sleep at 6 o'clock, usually, well, stop sleeping, because you can exercise at 6 o'clock tomorrow and after tomorrow and probably today. And if you do it every day, then you won't procrastinate. You will kill procrastinations. So the key takeaway is whatever you want to do, set up the timer, at what time, what activity you want to do. I mean, because being fit is cool, being muscular is great. But let's be honest, to achieve this state, you have to put the efforts to exercise. It depends what activity you choose, like workouts, calisthenics, gym, and you go to the gym and simply do these boring exercises. Boring, it's repetitive, but this is what gets results, a skill, because no knowledge will make you free, but skills will. So focus on building new skills, and whatever you want to do, figure out what kind of skills you have to develop and go ahead and develop those skills every single day, because skills is simply developed through practice and repetition, the things you do every day. Because how did you learn to walk? Through practice and repetition. How did you learn to talk? Through practice and repetition. So you can master anything if you just practice again, again, and again. Inside you, there living a child, a parent, and an adult. The child prefers easy stuff and fun stuff. It tells you, watch this Netflix series, go and watch this new movie. Why working on a business when you can have fun? You can watch movies, you can eat junk food. The child telling you, why not to eat candies? You will feel great afterwards, happy. But the reality is that this is like a part of the brain that is primitive, because you got in yourself the adult and the parent, your own parent, they're telling you what to do, what not to do, what you should do, and can organize your dreams into achievable goals. And this is a logical and rational brain. But you often lose the battle between the child and the rational person, because the child telling you, why striving for something if you can have fun today? And if you simply do this, then you will waste your life, because what brings fun today will bring sorrow tomorrow. And the successful people, the great people, well, I was a procrastinator and I needed reasons to procrastinate. So I read biographies of great people. And for the last 15 years, I read more than 1,000 books. I read them, I listened to them when I was walking. And let me tell you something, that the people who make the history, they are doing the hard stuff. They are doing that most people don't want to do. But they do it anyway. Even if they are afraid, even if they are in fear, they do what they should do. And that's how you get results, by doing the stuff that you need to do when you need to do it. Not tomorrow, not next year, not under pressure. Because everybody knows that to have money, you have to save money. You have to invest money to have passive sources of income. Everybody wants to wake up every morning, check the bank account, and wow, plus $1,000 every single day without work. But not everybody willing to save, willing to sacrifice, willing to not spend money that they have. But you can be different. Figure out what you have to do and just do it. Here's a tip. If you would like to start exercising, okay, let me tell you my story. I was exercising regularly for the last 15 years, but there were times in my life when my business crashed, I lost my income, and I really was a little depressed. And I stopped exercising, maybe for a few weeks. But my brain he knows me, and so he tricked me after like a week, my brain started to tell me like, you piece of shit, you, and not good words. I felt guilty, but I couldn't push myself to exercise. And so I just set up timer for 5 minutes and I started to exercise for 5 minutes. I think 3 days in a row for 5 minutes. And then I thought, 5 minutes is nothing. And I started to exercise again. And you can trick your brain. Just set up a timer for 1 minute, for 2 minutes, and do what you have to do. If you want to write, set up timer for 2 minutes and write. If you want to sing, set up timer for 2 minutes and sing. If you would like to exercise for 1 minute. Build the skill and then improve the skill. Exercise for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 20 minutes, then 1 hour. And then you'll have the body you dreamed of, because you have to start somewhere. If you would like to save millions of dollars someday, then start with 1 cent, then 10 cents, $1, $10, and then more and more and more. Because when I heard about this idea, I was so broke and in debt, so I just borrowed $20 from a bank and invested it into another saving account in another bank. And so I started this momentum. And in 2 years, I paid off my debt. Start where you are and simply do it again, do it more, and you will see the result. Imagine the future you 20 years from now is talking to you. He's believing in you. He's rich and he watch you to save money and invest money and to learn the skills of high earners and to practice those skills. And he's watching at you and he's telling you that, hey buddy, what's up? What are you working now? Imagine the healthy you. He's staying just in front of you. He's 20 years older and he's super fit, muscular, beautiful, and the best shape you ever had. And he's telling you that you achieved this and you started small. You started to walk for 5 minutes, then 10 minutes. Then you started to go to the gym, started to learn how to dance, become the best gymnast in your city. And now you arrived. Well, he's telling you, imagine that you never change. You never start that business. You never write that book. You never ask that girl on a date. What's gonna happen? Nothing gonna change. But you have the power to change. You can start the momentum and do it every day and achieve anything you ever wished for. So here is the trick. Never give yourself pleasure and rewards before you do the hard work, what is needed and necessary. Me personally, I do not eat if I don't do my morning exercise routine. If I don't exercise in the morning, I don't eat. I like to enjoy a cup of tea or coffee, and so I exercise. And do this exercise for my back and for my body, do those stretching, because otherwise I'll be hungry. So it works, because the reward should be earned. The latest psychological research, it clearly showed that if you give yourself rewards without doing the hard job first, your prefrontal lobe, the part responsible for long-term thinking, planning, foreseeing the consequences, it like shrinks, it becomes smaller, and you basically becoming more like a monkey that is want to do the fun and easy stuff and never do the hard things. Be different and do the worst first. Do the hard stuff first and fun and easy later. There's an easy trick you can use. Before you start every day, and preferably in the evening before, you have to do a list of things you gotta do next day. And you have to prioritize them. A is like the most important, vital important. If you don't do it, it's crazy. And then B, it's not so important, you can delay it. C, shouldn't be done at all. Or if you don't do them, nothing happens. And you should start with the A, the most important thing. And it's easy to identify what is the most important. It is the thing that will have the biggest consequences on your life. And I personally start with health, with healthy food, with exercise, because if I will get sick, if my brain will get infected with easy and funny stuff, that my life will be disaster. My family will be disaster and everything else I do. If you want to achieve your goals, start a blog and document your journey. Create videos about it. And if you haven't noticed yet, lots of people, bloggers and business owners started dropshipping businesses, starting like body makeover this way, and they struggles and they connected to millions of people worldwide, and it was their support network. Aspirations, their goals with the world, it became easier because then you not only responsible in front of yourself, but also other people, they are watching you. If you start to building from rags to riches, the homeless people all around the world, they are watching you and they are hoping that you will succeed and you will show them the way. And so you're not only responsible for you, but for those people who are watching you. Or there is a better way. Figure out what you have to do every day in order to accomplish your goals, weekly goals, monthly goals, yearly goals, and tell your friend that if I don't pay you like $10 or $20, or take the amount of money that is painful for you, but you can do it, you should report to this friend. But I mean, if you don't have supportive friends, then you should find some, because these people who make fun of you, who judge you when you start something, these are not the good people to be around. I don't think I'm a normal person, but this trick works. Tell to yourself that if you don't do, for example, the thing you need to do, like till 8 a.m. today, then I'll need to do like 100 push-ups or 200 sit-ups without rest. If you fail, then do it again and again. And when you feel the pain, your hands are shaking and your chest is in pain, your brain starts to rewire itself. You start to prioritize what you should do. For example, it worked for me perfectly. I had a habit too, for example, when I was at school, I thought, well, I needed to learn stuff. And I was sitting at home and learning these books because I told my mom, I will never step into this school. Do whatever you want to do, but I will never go to school. And so I was at home, like home education. Nobody pushed me to learn stuff, and I needed to do this myself. But I would told myself, well, today I'll watch a movie. Today I'll read a book. Today I'll do something more interesting. And I think it's been 2 years, and I realized for 2 years, it's probably time to move. And I started to push myself really hard. I said to myself, you do this, you read this book, you finish it, you learn it, you make this, you write this, you learn this, you memorize this, or it's like 100 push-ups. And if you do anything else, like 100 push-ups. And I really did this, and it worked. I started to be disciplined. And I think if 100 is a lot for you, start with 10, 20, then it has to be painful. It has to be super painful, because the pain, it teaches you. So understand this. Perfectionism, the idea that everything should be perfect, most of the time is useless. Done is better than perfect. Get it done, make what you want to make, start, and then improve. Because me personally, I would tell myself, for years I wanted to start a YouTube channel, but I would tell myself, well, my haircut is mess. Who would listen to me? And I don't know how to dress well. And I would tell myself things like that. But then it was, I think, 7 years ago when I started to record videos, and people would say, thank you. I had really dedicated, but then I got bored and deleted this channel, because sometimes you're not ready to get famous. Just start and get it done. Done is better than perfect, because if you do something wrong, you can learn, you can improve, and you can do it better. Nothing is, the first time you started to walk, you probably failed, and you failed many times before you mastered this skill. And mastering skills takes time and practice. And so whatever you want to do, just start and get it done. Because maybe it's not something that you want to do, and you just record what you've done perfectly and what you will do better the next time. Record the lessons and keep improving, keep dreaming, keep building the life that you're dreaming to live. Don't be a slave of the system. Don't be enslaved by social media, your phone, or your friends, whatever. Dream big and work on it every day. You get in life not what you're dreaming and hoping for and what you're procrastinating on. You get only what you're working on every single day. So build these skills, build this knowledge that you need, and take actions, and let the power be with you.